gem from Mickey about to drop a gem. 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 Here comes a gem. Here comes a gem. Here comes a gem from Mickey about to drop a gem. Mickey about to drop a gem. Mickey about to drop a gem. Okay, now listen up.
What's up, guys? It's Mickey, and welcome back to another episode of Blank Canvas. All right. How is my BK fan feeling? I hope amazing, swell, excellent. How am I feeling? I'm in the middle. I'm okay. I'm just okay. So hopefully I get to feeling fine, excellent, and swell too. All right. So let's jump into this week's episode. What I thought I'd talk about this week is I have so many different gems have been downloading to me. And if you're new here, gems are just what they are, like little insights, little tidbits, little lessons that I've learned, pieces of advice, or just whether I have taught myself, life kicked my ass and taught me, or I picked up on from learning from someone else or someone else teaching me. They're just things to keep in your back pocket or things that you can pass on to help other people, right? So we do gems here, and I have a couple. I actually have a couple. In relation to, someone asked me, they said, Mickey, you often talk about, do you keep people around? Do you not keep people around? How do you know when it's time for them to cut you out of your life? What I want to start by saying is every situation is different. Every single person involved is different. There are a multitude of factors that can and cannot affect your decision-making process, okay? There is no one size fits all. This isn't a black and white situation. It's really just, you got to really personalize it and do what's best for you. And everybody involved has to do what's best for them. And hopefully it's done in a peaceful way. But when emotions are involved and other factors are involved, it can get complicated. So try your best to do it in the most peaceful, most mature way. All right. Some of the things that I did think about, though, when they asked me this question, were what are some signs or how you know, like, when you should keep somebody in your life after they messed up or when it's time to get rid of them. Again, every situation is different. But something that I would be looking for, like if I'm really trying to see if I want to keep somebody around, is not just effort. You know, I think sometimes we think, okay, they put in effort. And then we forget, or the effort quickly stops and falls back into old habits. And then we forget why we were upset in the first place or felt some type of way in the first place. And then somehow you can end up back there. And it's not to say hold on to it. I'm not saying like remember it to hold on, remember it to keep punishing, but try to really pay attention to the patterns. I have been paying attention to my patterns lately. And there are certain things in certain situations that are consistent. Pretty much every player, except for maybe a variable, is the same. Besides that one variable may be a little different, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, it's okay, because that's for me. But, so I would say effort, but not just effort, more importantly, consistency. Consistency is up there with intentionality. Like, did you intend to hurt me? Did you not intend to hurt me? Were you overly selfish? Can you admit that you were overly selfish? Accountability is like another thing. Can they admit when they are wrong? Right? Can you admit when you were wrong? If both parties can admit where they're wrong, where they could have done this better, where they could have showed up better, or this was my intention, but I understand that it may have come off to you like this, or this was my intention, and I understand that I may not understand the weight and the capacity that you have to hold, right? Are we willing to try to honestly see it from the other person's perspective? Are we willing to do that? I mean, because if we're not even willing to do that, we're really just wasting time, right? Because our way is not the only way, and two things can be true at once in a situation. So I would definitely say not just effort, but consistency, because you need to see, are they only doing this because they got caught? Are they only doing this because you're upset? Are they only apologizing, doing flowers, taking you out on dates, giving you everything that you asked for? Are they only doing it because you said you walk away, right? Like, Are they afraid to lose you? So that's the only reason. And I'm not saying, listen, that's what they're supposed to do. Like, if you're really afraid to lose somebody, you're supposed to step up and you're supposed to show them, not just tell them. You're supposed to do both, show and tell them. I don't want to lose you. Whatever it takes, whatever adjustments we need to make, that's what's going to be done. Point blank, period. Right? However, if that is the only reasoning behind it, good luck with that being consistent. Because when you don't walk away and when you stay, and that's their reasoning, and that's, behind them doing it and putting in effort, then what? You know what I mean? So you need consistency. You really need to understand why they're doing what they're doing. And same goes for us. Like, we need to be giving out consistency, and we really need to understand why we are doing the things that we're doing. Next thing I would say is you would need to make sure that the person is sure about you. 100,000, 10% know that they don't want to lose you. Again, I would ask the intentions. Do you not want to lose me just because you've had me for so long? Do you not want to lose me because you actually value me as a person and the role that I play in your life? Or do you're only sure when it comes to certain things, or you're only sure if I remind you to be sure, kind of thing? Like, if it's brought to your attention, right? That's a big deal. We all, and this is really especially for females, because I feel like, I know men struggle with this too, but I feel like girls struggle with it a little more. We deserve people who are absolutely sure about us, and not just sure about us, but sure about us now. And I know that timing is different, and everybody has to go through their own life journey. So I'm not saying, again, this isn't a one size fits all thing. Everybody's situation about whether you should keep someone in your life or not it will have just so many factors to evaluate and go through and sniff out, that it's going to take time. It's going to take real thinking. It's going to take real praying. It's going to take real effort. So much is going to go into it, but there is a certain sense of somebody being sure about you, not trying to convince somebody that you are the one, not trying to convince somebody that you should be in their life or they should be in your life. And again, I know you have to put in effort and you have to work at it. So I don't necessarily mean in that aspect, but I mean, there is a certain level. Like, if you got to try too hard, there's a certain level where it's like, I'm spending more time trying to convince you than I am of actually just enjoying you, of actually just being with you. Or I can meet somebody tomorrow and it won't take this much convincing, and they'll give me the world and then some, everything that I asked for and then some, with no strings attached. There are people out there that exist like that for all of us. We just have to find the right ones, and hopefully they're healed and hopefully we're healed. And again, so many different factors. The other thing that I would say in relation to that is that love is not enough. I'm going to stand by that, because there are people and things that I love, but love is not enough. Love is not the only thing that keeps you going. Okay? Like, love is a very powerful thing. Love is a very intentional thing, can be. Love is something that I feel like trying to just put it into words is not easy to do all the time. But love is not enough. Love is not going to be the only thing that makes you do it when you don't feel like doing it. Love is not going to be the only thing that makes you try to exhibit fruits of the spirit when you don't feel like giving them out. You want to live out your flesh. You want to cuss them out. You want to snap. You want to do this. You want to do that. Like, you want to remember the past. You want to hold them to their past. You want to hold them to the mistakes that they made. Somebody may want to hold you to your past, hold you to the mistakes you've made. Love is not enough. Is it important? The highest of highest keys, it's important. But is it enough to be the saving grace? Not our love, I don't think. We love people all the time that we have to let go of. We love people all the time that we have to love from a distance. We love people all the time that if it was up to us, the love could be so much greater. But there are walls up because they have to be for protection. Or they start out as protection and they end up just a natural default setting. So many factors. Next thing I would say is there's power in the pause. there is absolutely positively power in the pause. And I say that not just for whether you're deciding whether someone should stay in your life or not, but I say that in general. There's absolutely power in the pause when it comes to all situations in life, even just before you respond. We are emotional creatures, right? Include men. They are emotional creatures. We are human beings full of emotions. We are walking, talking, thinking, breathing, emotional creatures. But yet we act like we have no emotions at all. We act like if we show emotions, it's weakness. We act like if we talk about it too much, then we're just either using it as an excuse, or you're not healed enough, you're not this, you're not that, and blah, 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 blah. We are all emotional creatures, okay? So to act like they don't exist is crazy. Do we all express it in different ways? Sure. Are the levels to how we express it and the amount of times we express it and vice versa? Absolutely. Should we be shaming others if the way they express it and the levels, or I should say like the volume that they express it is different? Absolutely not. If you ask me, absolutely not. But who asked me? Who asked me? So there is power in the pause, and I would take that advice, take that gem, wrap it up in a bow, stick it in your back pocket, carry that around, put it on a keychain. Like, always have that. If y'all don't take anything away from this episode, remember this very, very important gem, that there is power in the pause. And you would be surprised how situations and conversations and different things can turn out so drastically different when we take the time to pause and think and reevaluate. Okay? Next one. Don't make permanent decisions off of temporary emotions. I say this to you guys 11 times. Okay? I say it to you guys all the time. And I say that just like I told you to put there's power in the pause in your back pocket. Hello, wrap this one up. Put it on the keychain. Put it in your back pocket. Keep it close to your chest, all right? Don't make permanent decisions off of temporary emotions. Because once you make them, you can't go back. Once you say certain things, you can't unhear it. It changes the trajectory, okay? So make sure you're not moving out of emotions, because our emotions can fluctuate. The Bible tells us our heart can be deceitful, for who truly knows it, right? I mean, besides the one who created us and is sovereign and knows all things, besides him, we can't even trust our hearts all the way. And they'd be saying, did you go with your heart or did you go with your head? Well, honestly, a lot of times, I'm not even gonna lie, and maybe it hurts me. Maybe it hurts me in some situations. I tend to go more logically for a lot of ways. Like, it's not that I don't feel my emotions. It's not that I don't have love. It's not that I don't, feel these slew of different things. I absolutely do. But I try to logically be like, well, okay, if I'm sad, why am I sad? Or if I'm angry, that's a secondary emotion. So what is the root issue? Like, I like to analyze it and go ahead and fix it. But I think on the Enneagram, I'm a type 5 anyways. So, surprise, surprise. For anybody who knows the scales and their numbers, it would make sense that I'm a 5. But I really just like to think and try to figure it out, because I know that my emotions will fluctuate. And making decisions when you're stressed, we don't make the best decisions. Making decisions when you're anxious and worried, we don't make the best decisions. Making decisions when you are upset, emotional, depressed, sad, any high-strung emotion, right? It's just, we don't make the best choices, and we don't want to be making permanent decisions off of temporary emotions. That's just me. And I would highly recommend you guys don't do it either. But who listens to me? Nobody. I just turn out to be right in the end. Last thing that I will say is pray about everything and everyone, and always trust your gut. You will know whether someone deserves to be in your life or not. Now, whether you ignore what you know, that's a different story, right? Different story, different topic for another day. But you will know whether someone is supposed to be in. And if you don't, you keep praying about it. You keep talking to God about it, and he will show you. Remember, we always joke, that's one of the fastest prayers that he answers. Of God, who's supposed to be in my life? Who's not supposed to be in my life? Blah, blah, blah. He answers that one so quickly. But he'll also answer pretty quickly. God, show me who's supposed to be here, who's not supposed to be here, and give me a sign so I can know. He'll give it. Life will start showing you in every single way, in ways that you can't even ignore. They're screaming in your face of, are you supposed to Are you supposed to let them stay, or are they supposed to go? Right? And remember, there is no one-size solution. No one size fits all. This isn't a black and white scenario. This is really, really gray, as are most situations in our lives. And humans are complex. Relationships are complex. Even the good ones take work. And my usual advice is to cut the cord and hit the ground running. But that's a defense mechanism. That's a pain response sometimes. And sometimes it's just me being overly protective of me, because I have to do that for myself. I have to protect me at high costs. I can't be the sacrificial lamb, Like, I gotta protect me. So sometimes I don't always choose the best ways to protect me. As I grow in life and continue to mature and grow up, I try to look for healthy ways to protect me, not ways that keep even good people and things out, because I am feeding the trust issues. I'm feeding the flesh. I'm feeding the worry. I'm not feeding what would help build trust, what would establish solid foundations, what would help me remember the love. Another one that I think I'll add that I just thought about, wasn't on my list, but power of reflection. Just like there's power in pause, there's power in reflection and just remembrance. Remember who they were to you when you weren't upset with them. Remember who they are to you on a consistent basis. Don't just take one situation and think they are the worst people ever, but also don't just take one situation and think everything is all Gucci and fixed, because they could be only fixing it because you said something, because they're afraid to lose you. You have to see how bad they really want it. And I'm not saying put them through the ringer. It's not on us to put them through the ringer. It's just, you will know if it's genuine or not. You really just need to know the person's true intentions. But in order for you to even give them opportunities to show their true intentions or show that they have changed and put in effort, you need to reflect. You need to reflect how they usually are in these situations. You need to really reflect and examine, are you seeing consistent change? Are you seeing change, period? Then is it consistent? Then what are their intentions behind the level of effort and consistency? All of those things need to be taken into consideration. And that's all I got for today. I hope it helps. I don't want to hold you guys here forever. And I love you guys, and I can't wait to see what we talk about next time. All right, guys. Bye.
Topic, yeah, but we gon' talk about something on the mental, on the mind, weighing heavy. Society with the levies, kinda deadly. Silent killer, hard to daddy. Most killers had no daddy. Sadly, that's just what it be in my community. We got no unity. Dark skin wanna ruin me. I'm speaking fluently, so just listen. Blank canvas, blank canvas, blank canvas.